Michael Bisping, the defending UFC middleweight champion of the world, joining us right here with a belt in the other chair to his right. Good to see you here on the Rich Eisen Show, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's a very shiny belt you have right there.
It is indeed, yes. The UFC, they keep it nice and shiny for me.
So that's a real deal belt that you
So this is a
walk
real
around
belt.
with, or?
This isn't my one, you know. I mean, I tend not to walk around, as I said a moment ago, with such shiny jewelry. You know, I mean, there's a word for things like for somebody that does that, and I won't say it on TV. But yeah, this symbolizes a lifetime's hard work.
Okay, and well, then congratulations on that, and we will talk about your title fight with George St-Pierre at UFC 217 in a second. But I could not help but notice you were at Dodger Stadium last night. You were part of the montage of celebrities that were.
Sure.
How many baseball games have you been to?
You know, I mean, to be honest, you know, let's be honest here. I'm English,
yes.
So we're not the biggest baseball fans, but I enjoy all sports, obviously, and always nice to be there and soak up the atmosphere and the passion.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been to several games. You know, probably count them on both hands.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, last night was it was amazing.
Did you stick for the whole game?
Not all of it. Not all of it. I'm training for a fight, as I'm sure, as you just mentioned. So, you know, I'm very tired and I'm dieting. So I stuck around for a while and then, you know, I had to get back and get some sleep.
Okay. Did you have a Dodger dog? Did you?
I didn't. No, I didn't. So I've got a friend over there. He's vegan. So he's my nutritionist. And on top of that, he's vegan. So you can imagine what a killjoy he is. You know what I mean? Not only is he my nutritionist, he's also a vegan. So a hot dog, there was no chance. There was no chance.
You've got to leave your... No disrespect. We have not met, sir. Are you the vegan
Yes,
nutritionist?
yes.
You got to leave your vegan nutritionist
No,
at home when you're going to a World Series game,
listen,
Michael.
I just sparred 5-5s with a fresh sparring partner every round. And when I got there, I was starving. And I said, listen, I don't care. I'm at a game.
Yeah.
I'm having a hot dog. And he went, no, you're not having a hot dog. And I'm like, dude, come on. I'm at a game, we're at the World Series,
Yeah.
I'm getting a dog. And he's like, no. I had broccoli with chicken. I swear to God. I don't know where he found it from at a baseball game, but chicken and broccoli.
The famed Farmer John's chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
At Dodger Stadium.
It was so good.
Oh, man. Are you an NFL fan? Of any sort.
You know, I mean,
I know the
I
Brits
like
are more into that.
Yeah, that's right. It's got quite a good following these days in the States. Certainly, we go, you know, we get involved for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, you know, somewhat. You know, typically more combat sports, if I'm honest.
What about your version of football?
Football, yeah, you know, I'm a Manchester United fan, and once again, I mean, for an Englishman, because English live and breathe soccer, you know, it's.
Yes. I appreciate you using the word soccer.
Yes, well, for you guys. I mean, I'll be honest. Listen, I'll be honest. It's called football, right?
I know that.
You kick a ball with your feet, hence football. You guys call it football. You hold it in your hands. I just don't get it. I think we claim football, but soccer.
Yeah,
we'll go with soccer.
I appreciate that. But you're Manchester
United. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But not a diehard. For an Englishman, I'm not considered a real Englishman.
Why would you say that?
Well, because first I go back home to England, I get into a cab. First thing they say is, what team do you support, mate? And then they start talking about football. I'm not a diehard, you know. So talk to me about fighting, I'll bore you to death.
Okay, so let's talk about fighting right here. You recently said that if you were running the UFC, you'd want George St-Pierre to win. Why would you say that?
Because George is a huge star, and the UFC as a promotion. Listen, I mean, that was tongue in cheek, you know, but good for you for picking that. Well,
you know, that's what we do. We mix it up.
Of course, and rightly so. So you should. George is a big star. It's up to me to play the upset. He wants to come back. He wants to make history. He wants to win a belt in 2 divisions. He's got the whole nation of Canada behind him. You know, there's a good storyline there. I'm saying if I was the promoter, I'd want George to do it, and then he could take part in some other super fights. But of course, I've got to play the spoiler.
Of course you do. And what's your reaction to all the back and forth that's been going on between the two of you guys?
Oh, you know what? Listen,
is that for real? Is that real, or is that just for show?
Yes and no. It's real at the time. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to fight, you know, and when we fight, it's vicious. We can dress it up and say it's martial arts and all this and that, but ultimately we are going to try and beat each other into either being unconscious or the referee stopping it. So if you can get a psychological advantage, make them doubt themselves, things like that. That's why I do it. I don't walk around my life trying to be a jerk with people, but we're going to fight, and he's going to try and inflict harm on me. So if I can get him to doubt himself, if I can remind him, if I can get in his face, let him know that I'm going to beat him, and on fight night he doesn't perform to the best of his ability, then that helps me. So it is real, but I respect George. George is an incredible fighter, had an amazing career, and I've got my hands full. I know I've got a tough fight next week, so I've prepared accordingly.
Michael Bisping here in studio prior to the fight with George St-Pierre, and you can't help but notice there's been a lot of GSP heavy promotion.
Yes. Yeah,
what
because...
are your thoughts on that there, Michael?
Yeah, well, once again, good for you. You're trying to twist the knife.
No, actually, what I'm trying to do is ask the questions I think fans want to know the answer to, but you can...
Okay, please. Well, the thing is this. I mean, I haven't been anywhere. I've been here fighting the best guys in the world like I always do for a very, very long time. George has been off, hiding in Canada, maybe, hanging out with the Mounties or having some maple syrup or whatever they do up there, skiing or something, or just being miserable. Just being miserable in cold Canada. I've been down here sunbathing and kicking ass the whole time. So they need to remind everybody that George is coming back.
Okay.
I've always been here.
And you were...
Much to the annoyance of everybody watching this. They're like, Jesus, will he just disappear?
Not at all. I don't think so. I mean, so how long were the sunglasses on last night? Because it was
well, until it went dark. As you know, it was... See, someone on Twitter said, why are you wearing sunglasses at night? I said, half an hour ago, it was daylight. It's an outdoor stadium, so,
You could have responded. Stop.
I've got answers for everything, buddy.
Stop busting my eggs, man. I had my vegan nutritionist here. I'm trying to get a hot dog at the game, the World Series.
There we go.
I gotta say,
look, the sun was just setting there. I think that's still sunglass territory, if I'm honest.
It did look like the glint of the lights of the stadium on your sunglasses. But it's okay if you want to go full Los Angeles.
Hey, why not? Why not,
I mean, I wish I had those sunglasses right now for the glint of that belt on the chair to your right, over there. The Mayweather-McGregor fight, did you watch it?
Of course. Okay. Who didn't?
Well,
Huge.
I did, but what did you think of it? A spectacle or something you thought was the legit? What did you think, Michael?
I didn't go into it expecting like a legit fight. I went into it expecting fantastic entertainment, which I got. I thought Conor McGregor handled himself really well. I thought he represented our sport well. I mean, he did better than what everybody expected. I think kudos to Floyd Mayweather. He had a perfect game plan. He weathered the storm. He made Conor punch himself out, if you will, and then finished him later in the rounds. But I think everyone enjoyed it. It was a great fight. It was exciting. I watched it with a ton of friends, and everyone was on the edge of the seat. We got what we paid for. It was certainly more enjoyable than the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight.
Would you ever want to try something like that?
Oh, of course. I'm a professional fighter. That's what I do. So, yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, because folks would say that why would you perform better in a spot that McGregor didn't?
Because I ain't Conor McGregor, I'm Michael Bisping. And, we're all different individuals. I don't run out of gas. I don't get tired in my fights.
See, you said that. I didn't say that.
See, I learned the hard way. In a fight, you got to be conditioned. When I was younger, I did a kickboxing fight that was 8 rounds. I didn't train for it. First 4 rounds, I tried to kill the guy. Didn't finish him. Next 4 rounds, can I say ass? I got my ass kicked so bad for 4 rounds, and it's the loneliest place in the world. There's you, the fighter, and the referee. No one there. There's no team to hide behind. So I learned the hard way. I'm never going to a fight underprepared.
Now, did you say ass because you thought I'm American, or isn't it arse?
Arse. It is arse. I get a lot of stick of English people when I say ass.
You don't have to translate for me.
Well,
here,
unfortunately, I believe it or not to you guys, I have a bit of an American twang these days. So the English are they're disowning me. Because I have a northern accent from the northern of England. Okay. So the north of England, and a lot of what I say you guys don't understand. So I have to slow it down and over-pronunciate. And then people are like, on Instagram, they're like, what is this accent? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, there you go.
So do you watch Game of Thrones?
Of course.
Okay. So who's your favorite character in it?
I don't mind a bit of Khaleesi, let's be honest. That seems like a popular choice in here.
Okay. So outside of the Mother of Dragons, who would you choose?
Okay. Are we testing my knowledge here?
No, it's okay.
I like Jon Snow.
Okay.
So
you know something as opposed to Jon Snow. Is that what you're saying?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, you know nothing, Jon Snow. I know a lot of things, Rich Eisen.
I know.
Don't you worry about me, buddy.
Fantastic. Do you? So a couple more questions for you here with Michael Bisping here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Yep.
There was this civil suit that just got announced today with you. Is there anything that you could talk about this?
I mean, obviously, it's a legal matter, and it's very, very unfortunate. It's completely unfactual. even in what has been reported so far.
What happened in a gym or something
contradictory.
like that?
Yeah, some guys claiming something happened in a gym. I don't really want to give it any extra attention, but of course, rightly so, this just happened. It's frivolous and, it's unfactual, it's incorrect, but I haven't even heard anything official yet. So obviously I need to speak to a lawyer and find out what's going on. Seems funny though that whatever happened all these months ago, all of a sudden the week before the biggest fight of my life, he's suing me, UFC, WME, 24-hour fitness. I think that paints a picture.
That does. For John Jones, do you think he's ever going to fight again?
I hope so. He's an incredible fighter, one of the most naturally talented fighters we've ever seen. I know he's fighting the steroid allegation, if you will. And apparently, Jeff Nowitzki, he runs the drug testing program. Apparently there's something to it. Apparently there is a legitimate, not a defense, but perhaps a legitimate reason. And if that is the case, then he needs, I'm always dubious with things like this. I've never taken steroids and I've never tested positive. You know what I mean? You test positive where, you ask me, there's no smoke without fire. But John Jones is an amazing fighter and I'd love to see him fight again.
So when you head to New York?
Saturday morning.
Okay.
Straight out to New York, yeah.
Have you been in Madison Square Garden before?
I have. Yeah, I was there. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
That's where I grew up.
Oh, really?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I watched the Knicks and the Rangers.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly
magical
building.
Yeah, it's an iconic venue.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get there.
You're going to take in a show, like maybe see Hamilton while you're training or something like that?
Maybe after. Like right now I'm weighing 200 pounds.
Okay.
By next Friday, I've got to be 185.
Yeah.
So I've got 15 pounds to lose.
Well,
so I won't be taking in the side. I didn't have a hot dog last night, and I won't be having popcorn and a show and a glass of wine this week.
I was wondering, by the way, is it okay for a Brit to go to Hamilton, or is that just too raw still? A little too
soon?
Too soon. The American Revolution is still too soon.
Listen, you guys love to talk about this, don't you? Believe it or not, we paid no attention. It was like 200 years ago or something. You guys still love it, Just like Donald Trump, you got to list all the things you're good at. We're amazing. We're great. We kicked your ass 200 years. That's 200 years ago. Guys, let it go. We are all one.
True. And in that respect, then let me bridge whatever divide that doesn't really exist be bridged.
I don't wear a red coat.
When you're done fighting,
yes.
When you're done kicking the arse of George St-Pierre,
yes.
I've got great pizza places in New York City for you to go to.
Please.
That you just look that guy right in the eye. You're vegan nutritionist and say,
well, listen,
we are going
after the
for
fight, he can kiss my arse. Simple as that.
Michael Bisping, check him out again, UFC middleweight champion, taking on George St-Pierre on a couple of Saturdays in Madison Square Garden. Great to meet you, man.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. You got it. George St-Pierre versus this guy, Michael Bisping. Again, check it out. That belt that you're seeing on TV, radio audience, it is a beautiful thing. It's on the line on Madison Square Garden in a couple Saturdays.
For more Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Rich Eisen Show app.